Come on in to Margaret McSweeney's Kitchen for Kitchen Chat, where every week you'll meet chefs, cookbook authors, foodies, gourmets, and just plain people who love to eat. And along with laughter, chat, recipes, and stories about food, you'll sometimes also hear words of inspiration, love, and hope. As Margaret always says, Kitchen Chat is food for the senses and food for the soul. So grab a cup of coffee, put your feet up on a comfy chair, and get ready to spend a little time with Margaret and her friends.
Hello, dear foodie friends, and welcome to Kitchen Chat. I'm your host, Margaret McSweeney, and I'm so excited to be here at the beautiful Viking and La Cornue showroom in the Merchandise Mart with my fabulous co-host, Chef Jamie Larita, who is the Viking brand ambassador, designer of the showroom, and also co-host of the new TLC series, Make This Place Your Home. And we are just beyond delighted to have Mindy Segal, who is outstanding pastry chef for James Beard 27, cookbook author, restaurateur. Welcome to Kitchen Chat.
Welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, what an exhausting bio you have, and very impressive.
You could have gone more on, but I cut you off.
Yeah, no, I mean, Mindy's got a lot of medals around her neck.
I've had a good career.
You sure have.
It's been a good one.
And it all began
Fun
with
ride.
And it all began with cookies.
No.
No?
No.
How did it begin?
Yeah.
No, it began with me being grounded every weekend when I was in my teens.
That makes sense to me.
I was grounded every weekend, and so, but my mother said that I could work. And so I used to work for this employment service. Literally, I'm not joking. And I used to go.
This is killing me.
I used to go and wash dishes for ladies of the North Shore while they were having parties. And I was grounded so many times I got regular customers. I am not joking. And I would then start doing their buffets and helping them with their appetizers and doing their food, helping them. And I got into food.
So wait, why were you grounded?
Because I was a really bad kid. I'm still bad.
Yeah, she is.
Oh,
if anybody, I know Mindy for a long time now.
I'm still bad.
She's spicy.
Yeah, I am.
This
spicy.
is why we love Mindy, because
Yeah.
she is spicy. She's like chili flakes.
I'm like a firecracker.
She is.
I'm about to just explode.
You sure are. You sure are.
Yeah. No. Yeah, so that's how it started. And so I literally used to my brother and I would pretend that we owned a restaurant. And honestly, and this was in the 70s, so I'm going to say we were the first ones to come up with the Food Network, because we used to have a monitor in the corner, and we would sit and talk to the monitor about who we were preparing meals for.
No way.
I swear to God.
That
this
is
what we
amazing.
did. And so, I mean, I always wanted to be a chef, I think. I think I did, and it just happened.
So when did it, the culinary, the actual... Where did you start your culinary career?
Well, I started. I went to University of Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I never went to class, and I used to cook for people, and everyone would come over to my apartment because I used to always cook. It was my favorite thing to do, to go to the store, to get the vegetables, do everything. And I was walking to class one day, and I saw the bus that said Chicago on it, and I'm not joking. I got on the bus and went home. And my parents were like, "What are you doing home?" And I'm like, "I want to go to culinary school." And they were like, "Okay."
And what culinary school was that?
I went to Kendall.
Oh, that's great.
I was I was in the first 10 blocks that graduated.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Really?
Come on, what year was that?
Really?
I'm not asking your age.
Really?
I'm not asking how old you are. I'm asking when that was.
I graduated from culinary school in 1989.
But not focusing on pastry.
No, I got my I got my associate's degree in culinary arts. But when I graduated, I got a job working at Ombre in the pastry department. That's what I wanted to do. Really bad.
And why pastry? What?
Because I think when I was working my way in school, and I was working on the line or shucking oysters or cleaning fish or doing all this stuff, I used to always look in the corner of my eye and see the pastry chef off in the corner listening to music, doing their own thing, and it was like...
You're jealous.
So this was the era of the flourless chocolate cake with the glazed strawberries on top of it. Okay,
Got
so
it.
it was you know what I mean? Really uncreative years of pastry. I don't mean not.
I know what you're saying.
Just like it was
things
just different.
they were
just
simpler.
Different. But I just remember she used to make this flourless chocolate cake. But
so she's talking about the 50s and the 50s.
Well, I'm talking about I'm actually talking about
the late 30s,
the 20s. Right. The Roaring 20s.
Yeah.
No, but I just remember she used to make this chocolate cake, and it was flourless, but it was really fudgy. I didn't know how she made it. Then she takes Driscoll strawberries, dip them in the apricot, glaze, and put it on top, so each person got a cut. Oh. I just always thought that was, I don't know, there was something precious about that.
Right.
So I just went into pastry, and I loved it. I loved everything about it. Really
well, I have to say when we'll go into hot chocolate in the restaurants, but to watch you. I'll go back into the kitchen from time to time, and to watch Mindy put together a recipe without even thinking about it. I watch it. I'm in awe of that, where the blender's going and Mindy's just talking to me and she's throwing in ingredients.
There are many types of chefs and many types of avenues in which you can go in this industry. And for a person to be truly committed to their craft for their entire career and work on it in an organic way, with a way of respecting flavors and tastes and ingredients and process, and how you can learn that and then twist it is, for me, what it's about.
Kitchen chat's over. Thank you very much, Mindy Segal.
This young girl who I just hired said to me, well, you're kind of like a legend in this industry. And I felt like she was saying, you're like an old lady.
That's what she was saying.
She was totally saying that.
No,
I was
she
like,
wasn't.
oh my God.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, but I like what I do. And I like what I do, and I like just making people happy.
Oh.
That's why I do it. And I've never lost perspective of that, okay? And it's been a long time. It's been 35 years, and I don't think I've ever lost perspective of that. And I think maybe that's what makes me a little bit more unique.
Mm-hmm. Spotted leopard cookies.
Yeah, they're really cool.
What was the inspiration behind that? And foodie friends will have
besides you being your badass self.
Cookie love.
It has nothing to do with being my badass self. I used to do this dessert. And it was a really cool dessert. I should bring it back. It was a thing. It was banana cream pie, but it was, I used to make these shells, and I used to line them with chocolate, and then fill them with like a brown sugar pastry cream with bananas. It was really good, really good. But then what I did is I used to take bananas and cut them on the bias and then caramelize the entire top.
Yum.
It was just really good. It was a really cute thing. And then I made these twirls that look like leopard print, because I think of bananas and leopard print, like when bananas start getting spotted.
Yeah.
And so
I like that.
And I put that on top with a sorbet in the middle, and then this big thing of cream, and it was really cool.
Can you please make me that dessert?
Yeah, I know. There's two that I really like that are great that I don't make anymore, I specifically remember now. But the thing is that I just love that idea of that leopard print thing.
Yes.
And I don't know how I got into the layering of the shortbreads, but I had extra dough, so I just went like this, and I think I got a spot on it, and I was like, ooh, I could make this into leopard print.
Leopard print is very in right now, man.
Yes.
It's
everywhere.
I have leopard print shoes.
I have leopard print everything.
I have leopard print shoes.
Do you? Of course you do.
Yeah, I have gorgeous. They're pumps. They're insane. They're
I would
beautiful.
love. I would
You
love.
wanna see me wear
I
them,
want to
don't
see.
you?
Of course. I wish they came in at 13.
I think we should all be eating spotted leopard cookies
I
with
just
the
thought they were
leopard
really,
patterns.
I just thought they were cool, and I just got into cookies, and I'm into cookies, but right now. Cookies to me are passé.
I can't say I can't
No.
agree. First of all, I will never forget the launch that you had at Hot Chocolate
so much fun.
with this cookie party. So we walk into Hot Chocolate, and there are cookies. You cooked baked every recipe.
90%.
There were cookies everywhere, mountains of cookies,
Mountains of cookies
everywhere.
It was just the coolest party.
And then, do you remember what I said to you?
No.
With the milk.
What did he say?
I said, we need shot glasses of milk.
Milk, right.
And Mindy goes, she made it happen immediately.
I said, that's it.
We need
Shot glasses of milk. Jamie says.
It was the best. It was so.
That was a really good idea, though.
Yeah, but so was the cookie party. It was one of the
fun.
best. It was one of the best
fun.
book launches I've ever been to.
Yeah, and it was right before my father passed away, so it was really cute. I'm glad he was there. He was proud of me.
He so was.
Oh, he was a good man. But yeah, I mean, I don't think they're passe. I just no, not. And I'll tell you, there's this woman on Instagram, and she is baking her way through the book, and she's blogging about it or Instagram about it, and she makes the cookies better than me. She makes them better than me. It's so cool.
Oh,
it's
wow.
so cool to watch it.
Well, look at you inspiring someone else. I mean, that's what cooking is all about, right?
Yes.
Sharing recipes and all that.
Sure, fun.
And you inspired Missy Robbins,
I did.
I understand. Yes. Yes. I
are you
mean, she
talking
was at
about? Margaret?
Spiaggia, where...
How did I inspire her?
Well, I read it in an article.
Oh, she said something about me?
Yes, so you have inspired a whole lot of
we're really
chefs.
good friends.
Yes.
No, we're really good friends. We...
So you didn't pay her for that?
I did not pay her for that, but maybe it was payback because maybe I mentioned her somewhere. You do that little thing, you help people out.
Mindy does a lot of that. There's a lot of people that even have come through our showroom that you've taught, and
Sure.
that's the best kind of chef, is someone that can make a better chef.
I agree
right?
with you about
And
that.
and also your heart for charity, right?
I like charity.
Yes.
And helping the kids. Every time we ask Mindy to do something,
For Puerto
for
Rico,
kids.
the pies for Puerto Rico. Oh my goodness! I
Love
remember
that.
going into your
awesome.
kitchen.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yes, that was amazing.
Yeah, we had a good time.
And
Yeah, I mean, I first of all, I love kids, so I mean, they're
Kids and
they're
dogs.
So well,
Yes.
we haven't even gotten to dogs yet. We haven't even scratched that surface. But kids are cute. They're like they're so honest.
what was her name recently? The girl that won.
Oh, Benny.
How amazing
Yes.
is she?
Did you
I love
see what
her.
I did with her?
No, I haven't. I didn't see it.
Jamie.
She told me about it. I didn't
She
see
did
it.
tell you
yeah,
about
she
it?
told all about
Yeah.
it. She couldn't believe it.
I was doing Harvest Fest, and she messaged me, and she was like, "Hey, I really would like to hang out with you while you're at Harvest Fest." And I was like, "Okay, well, I have a great idea. I'm doing a demo. Why don't you come and prep the demo with me, and then we'll do the demo together." And we did.
She's fabulous, isn't she?
She's just really cute.
She's so cute, so
She's
articulate.
really cute. She's a good kid. She
A lot
has
of energy.
Her parents are great,
Mm-hmm.
and she's gonna be something.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know what, but she's gonna be something. She's a very special girl. Yeah.
And once again, another great example of you
Whatever.
spending
But it was
time
fun.
and encouraging.
She helped me. I mean, it was
So
awesome.
let's talk about hot chocolate.
Okay.
Yes.
I live in Bucktown, and Margaret has been there as well. Hot chocolate is.
How was dinner the other night?
It was
by the way?
amazing.
Okay, good.
It was amazing.
Thank God.
I mean, every time I walk past that restaurant, it's just full.
It's not always busy.
It's usually busy, and then I have to go in there and I say, "Oh, hi, don't you know who I am? I'm Mindy Segal's friend." They're like, "We don't care. We're full."
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care.
I mean, it's let's put it this way. Let's
How many years?
Well, 13.
Wow.
But I'm going on 14 actually. But let's talk about that. It's been able to sustain itself, and it's a good restaurant, and it's just good food, And I'm super proud of that. I'm very proud of my staff who works hard and helps maintain what we want to do, which is just hospitality and food. I mean, we're not like avant-garde in any way or cutting edge.
I don't know. I mean, I look at the decor of the restaurant. As soon as I walked into the restaurant for the first time and I looked around, you're all over the place. I mean, you could tell that
Yeah.
that's your restaurant.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's what you want.
Yeah.
I don't understand the restaurants today that are overly designed. So, I mean, I don't think that the food it's a restaurant. You're going there to eat. So to me, it really needs to be about the food. And there's something very special about going to a restaurant that did very little thought about the dining room. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. True.
And way more thought about how they're going to serve the food. I went to this bar in some really small town in Wisconsin. I was with some other chefs, and it was from Sid from Car Valley. He takes all these chefs to this bar, and it's like you sit down. The woman says, "Do you want a cheeseburger or do you want no cheese?" And she takes from a bucket a scoop of ground meat and puts it on the flat top grill. And it's like, and we're like, well, what is that? And she goes, "Oh, she just gets ground beef from the farm down the street." It's the best cheeseburger on the planet.
Really.
Wow.
Table. I mean,
Yeah.
okay. Do I have to say anything else?
Wow.
And it's a bar in the middle of nowhere. And it's like sometimes that's just, who needs to sit down for 10 hours and get a carrot on the plate and, and someone says, carrot. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, how about roasted carrots?
Yeah.
With beautiful sea salt and,
Yum.
walnut oil with,
walnut oil.
spice.
So-
Well, I don't know.
I'm feeling you.
I totally made
I'm
that
with
up.
you. No, I'm with her.
So why the name Hot Chocolate? What inspired you to name your restaurant?
It's a little esoteric, and
You've never been asked that before.
no, but it's a very interesting question actually, and I think everyone should know about it. But so that they understand. I mean, it is esoteric, and I'm pretty much the only one who understands it. But so I'm a pastry chef by trade, and I wanted to open up my own restaurant, and so I wanted to evoke a very warm, comforting, sensual experience for people. I really never thought that the restaurant would do a lot of food. I always thought we would, maybe we'd be busy before 8 o'clock, but not really. And then like from 8 to midnight, we would be packed, and it would be like people getting cheese and dessert and wine and cocktails. And, if the food would be like, well, I'm hungry, so I'm going to have some food. And so I wanted it to be like a sensual experience, like hot chocolate, like melt. So like a sensual experience is, there's warm honey, but there's also like warm melted chocolate, and what that feels like, and what warm chocolate feels like. And it's a very sensual, it's very comforting, it's very warm. So hot chocolate, one word. It's not the drink, it's one word.
Right.
But I kind of felt like, well, if you're going to call your restaurant Hot Chocolate, you should have really good hot chocolate, and it should be like
I got to say, the hot chocolates are
and
so
I
good.
think that what has made my restaurant sustain itself for all these years is that I do have good food, so people come to eat, but everybody stays for dessert.
Yes.
Everybody stays or comes for dessert, so we get that like extra.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's interesting you say that, because most restaurants, for me, you go and when the dessert menu comes around, you choose not to.
Right.
You're a place you go because you want to.
You're going to eat and have a whole experience.
Right.
And I think that's cool.
And then
I think that's cool. And brunch is good too. What
Brunch
about
is
brunch?
brunch is fun. I love your brunch.
Yeah, we have a great brunch.
Yes, and you make your own marshmallows?
Well, yeah, I mean,
How
of course I do.
How do you make a marshmallow?
It's just a recipe. I mean,
Just a recipe.
Yeah, it's just a recipe. It's just egg whites and gelatin and sugar.
Wow.
Other things, but it's.
There's a certain energy at that restaurant that I think when I walk into restaurants, I feel everything. I feel the decor, I feel the staff, I feel the food. All that stuff is like. But when you walk into hot chocolate, I really feel you, and I think you've done a really good job with putting yourself out there. And you do so many things. You do so many things. Every time I talk to you, you have a new project going on, right? You're always challenging yourself.
I do.
And I feel like that's one of the things that I love most about you is that you're a risk taker and you're not afraid.
No.
There's no fear in Mindy
No,
Segal.
I don't have fear. No.
And as a woman entrepreneur, you have to be
I
fearless.
happen to be a woman, and I am an entrepreneur.
Yes.
It would be the same if I were a man. So what if I'm a woman?
An entrepreneur, period,
so
has to
what?
be fearless.
Well, I think, coming up culinary,
It's
through
too,
school.
we pay too much attention to it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And now it's so volatile that, like, it's got to stop.
I'm with you.
It's got to stop because we're all just people doing people things.
Exactly. I love you for that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Please.
As a businesswoman,
Yeah.
what has been the biggest challenge in terms of starting a business and scaling it like this?
Paying the bills.
Okay.
No, really, honestly,
It's true.
there's a few things, and they go 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? One is properly training your staff to understand your core value and maintaining that. maintaining your standards and how you feel about food while you're evolving and training your staff, right? Because you gotta stay working. That's what I'm saying. You have to constantly be working on your craft. And the last thing is making your customers continue to come back. And if you can't maintain that, I mean, then you just don't have a business. So that's really the key to a business, is maintaining your business and keeping it alive and vibrant and exciting and, interesting.
And Mindy, you've won so many different awards for what you do. What's been your proudest, award-winning moment? My
proudest. The James Beard Award, but also I'll tell you that I used to do a lot of work with Sheriff Strengths and a ton, and I almost full time, and I went to they have a summit every year, and we're sitting down and I'm so clueless to this whole thing that I don't know what's going on, but we're just all having dinner. And the next thing I know, I'm getting this award for being the restaurateur of the year. No idea. I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden they said my name, and everyone was looking at me like they all knew. And I was like, because you certainly don't do good work because you expect something in return.
Right. I always say when you give, you don't give with your hand.
You do it with just pure, honest integrity and heart. And it was so weird. And I honestly believe that was I know the James Beard Award is huge and I love it, but that was pretty cool.
Well, you're a role model.
Would you say that?
Yeah, for sure. You're a role model for so many young chefs.
I hope so.
You are.
I don't think some of them know who I am.
And home chefs, too.
Right.
Home chefs, way better. No. Yeah.
So this is, we know about, we've talked about your past and your present.
Yes.
What's the next level for Mindy Segal?
Well, without getting into specifics, but I will say that I do own an edible company that I'm a partner with, and I'm very, very excited to see the future of where that's going to go. It's an interesting... when you're a chef and you create food, it's very different than marketing, packaging, and creating a brand. Even though HotChocolate's a brand, but to create this thing that sits on a shelf that comes in boxes, no matter what it is, it just happens to have THC or CBD in it, Right. But it's
that's surely going to help a lot of people that need that.
It is helping.
What about we talked about in one day in the past, your hot chocolate? Do you ever think about packaging that?
Yeah. So we do package it, but my goal for the next couple of years is to very much focus on the things that I've created that actually are something that I could reach a wider variety of people, and so to grow it.
Right.
So I'm in the process of doing that.
Yay.
I know a few things about that, but she's being very reserved. I know a couple of very exciting projects that Mindy's got in that noggin of hers.
But I also would like to write another book, and I'm in the process of working that out. And it's not a book like you think. And can I talk about it?
Sure.
Is it okay? Because I really think it's really cool, and I think you'll appreciate it.
Okay, go for it.
So, when I was in my 20s, I was the pastry chef at Charlie Trotter's.
Yes.
If you didn't love me,
it's too late.
You are going to so love me, Jamie. Okay, this is so up your alley. And so I used to be the pastry chef at Trotter's, and I was very young, and I was not there for very long because I just did not like the environment at all. Loved what I was doing, and I always say in the back of my mind, if I could be the pastry chef of Charlie Trotter's again, the stuff I would do. Okay?
Wow.
So I want to write a book, and it's a loose memoir about, if I could be the pastry chef at Charlie Trotter's again, and it's like the life lessons that you learn working in a kitchen and all the desserts you wish you would have done.
Wow, that's amazing.
So each chapter is a dessert or a thing that I would have done, knowing now what I know. And it's about the things that you know now that you wish you would have known before.
Oh, wow.
It's also about regrets and being okay with them. It's about being okay, just to be okay, and the things that you learn in your life as you grow. But it's a loose memoir about my life, my career, but it's a fiction book. But it is going to have, each chapter is like, you know, port wine plums with ginger and, you know, risotto pudding, you know,
Yeah.
and
It's
like
the
how
secret
you
recipes
and how
to
you
success.
come up with this beautiful concept, and then the chapter is the chapter.
That's amazing. That
Don't
sounds.
you love
I
that?
love it.
Oh,
I
that
love it.
is
I can
great.
see you 100%. Your passion going into a project that's like the secret recipes.
Of knowing what I know, and I'm
of-
giving it to you now.
Right, of the past
Wow.
in the present.
Right, and how you can make mistakes but be okay with them and grow from them. Yeah, I'm like.
And in my mind, I'm already like
I know.
crafting the name,
right.
and like I see, it's amazing. It's a great project.
So
Yeah, I'm really excited. Isn't that
You
cool?
should be, yeah.
Totally.
Yes.
I knew you would love it.
I would love it.
that is incredible, and I'm so excited
Yeah, I
that
just-
the Kitchen Chat
Yeah, I just
Foodie Friends
totally
get
spilled
to
that one out. But
hear that.
Yes,
So,
fresh juice.
so what was your fondest memory of Chef Charlie Trotter as a restaurateur? Now that you have the perspective.
When he was very good and could be great at bringing the best of you out.
Wow.
And I was very young and very passionate and very naive and immature and creative and just like a little bird that just started losing their wings, and so he was very encouraging of bringing my creativity out, and that is the one thing about him that I will admire and never forget. And when I left there, I did not leave on good terms, and so we didn't talk for a long time. We didn't talk for like 10 years, and we both were in a magazine together, and like he was the chef, I was the pastry chef of the year with first Chicago Tribune one year, and I finally sent him a letter, and I said, I'm so proud to be sharing this title with you, and a lot of time has gone by, and I, wish you well, and blah, 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 and he brought me back. And it was very cute. So we started this relationship, and it was at the time, you got to hear this, it was at the time when I was really, 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 really into craft beer, and I was like pushing the craft beer movement in Chicago, and I would send him bottles of beautiful, like really cool craft beer, like really, really interesting, turning him on. And it would be like every month I would send him like these things, and I would write notes and tasting notes and pairings and why and which and woo and the whole thing. And it was the coolest thing.
Wow.
It was so cool.
Any other mentors?
Michael Cornick, for sure. Michael is, the secret of Michael Cornick is that Michael's a great chef. And he, it was so much fun to work with him. And he has a really great sense of humor and a really wealth of knowledge about service and wine and, the whole thing. And, and he was like, a really great chef because he allowed me to do whatever the hell I wanted to do.
Well, you're not the kind of person that I don't see holding Mindy Segal down to like rules and regulations.
Terrible at rules.
Yeah.
Horrible. The most non-corporate human being ever. Yeah.
I think that's why we resonate.
Yeah, I can't.
And speaking of rules, how have you broken the rules of baking, or can you break the rules of baking?
That's
You
amazing.
break the rules of baking if you understand baking.
That's right. And I don't.
I do.
She does.
It's a natural for me, but it's like in a grandma chef sort of way, not like a innovator sort of way. It's like like I could just make a really mean arugula.
Mindy and I are pretty much the biggest dog lovers you could ever meet.
It is ridiculous. First of all, he gets these dogs, okay? And I follow him on Instagram. And I think for a moment I was like kind of mad at you that I found out through Instagram and that you didn't like text me. But fine.
Same thing with your new dog.
Okay, I know. Well, that's
You got me back. You got me back.
That. But okay, so there's these dogs, and you're like introducing the Bullshit Brothers. Okay?
Half French Bulldog,
Yeah.
half Shih Tzu. Bullshit.
And these faces.
They're so cute.
And it's like, are you kidding me?
I walk by her restaurant, Hot Chocolate. We do it on purpose.
Totally. Wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, I know it's happening, and I just dart.
And they wait for her outside the restaurant.
Well, they wait for me because there's treats out there. But yeah.
And they also love you as well.
Yeah, they do. They
so
love
we have this love, and she's got the cutest dogs as well.
I have two very cute dogs too. My dogs are my entire
Margaret has dogs as well.
Yes, two rescue dogs. A Segal.
Okay.
Named Wilson, and he has a little heart on his nose.
It's the weirdest
first of
thing.
all, what is a Segal?
A Chihuahua Beagle,
Oh, okay.
not a chicken eagle like one person thought I'd gotten.
Yeah.
a Chihuahua Beagle, and he
his
is
name is Wilson.
He
Oh,
is
God.
the kindest.
He really is so cute.
Kindest, yes.
Oh,
and then a
please.
Shih Tzu named Lily. So
Okay.
yeah,
Love it.
they just take
They're just
your heart.
the best. I mean,
Yes.
dogs are the best. They're. I got a gang. They're like the gang.
We have a gang.
Yeah.
But you have dog treats, so do you make dog treats?
I do
in
make
there
dog
too?
treats, but I don't make them.
There's another business
No,
opportunity.
I make dog treats. There's one in the book.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, there's
That's
a
right.
dog treat in the book.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
So all of these things going on in Mindy Segal world. Thank you so much for sharing all of this information with us.
Yeah.
And you're one of my favorites here in Chicago.
Oh.
Mindy and I resonate on
Yeah,
many
love
different
you.
levels.
Yeah.
We're friends.
Love you forever.
Thank you, and I love you back.
Yeah.
So
Yes, and thank you. And I always like to end Kitchen Chat with the 3 top tips for the home chef. And then I guess from your perspective, making cookies.
Okay. 3 top tips. 1, first and foremost, read a recipe through and through, front to back, before you start the recipe.
great tip.
2, use good ingredients. And I got another one. When you're reading a cookbook at home, read the cookbook. Like, read the introduction and read the tips that the chefs give you, because we're giving you tips about things that will help you succeed in the book, but also just to have in the kitchen. And so we're giving you professional advice, and you should take it. Like, if I'm going to read a pasta book from a pasta chef, I'm going to listen to what that person is saying, because they make pasta for a living. Right? So why wouldn't I listen to them?
Right.
So that's a really important tip. And I think sometimes people just go they take a cookbook and they go like this. Oh, these. I'm going to make these.
Right.
And they don't even know where it's coming
Yeah,
from.
and then exactly, and then they begin they begin reading the recipe as they're doing the recipe. You're saying read the recipe through and through, read the tips, and then approach the recipe.
Yeah, and actually,
makes sense.
Great tip.
And to be honest with you, this book in particular is meant for you to read cover to cover and to do the recipes cover to cover, because each chapter gets harder and harder and harder.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Well, it's perfect timing.
Curriculum for cookie making.
I love that.
Curriculum. A cookie curriculum.
A cookie curriculum.
Say that 3 times. Oh, well, it's perfect timing with the holidays coming up and everything. And I love the idea of the milk shots and cookies.
Got milk and
Great
cookies. Gotta
for
have
your upcoming
It's really
parties.
cute. Really cute.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mindy
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh,
We really got the flavor of Mindy Segal
sure
today
did,
on
didn't we?
Kitchen Chat.
absolutely.
Spicy.
Spicy.
And thank you, dear foodie friends, for tuning into Kitchen Chat. Please visit me in my kitchen, kitchenchat.info. Also come visit Chef Jamie Larita in the beautiful Viking and La Cornue showroom at the Merchandise Mart, Suite 137, and you can visit thevikinglife.com. And always remember to take a moment and savor the day.
Thank you for joining us today. If you're interested in Margaret's books, A Mother's Heart Knows, Pearl Girls, Encountering Grit, Experiencing Grace, and Go Back and Be Happy, please just click on the covers on the webtalkradio.net page in front of you. Margaret would love to connect with you and hear from you, so join her on Twitter, Facebook, her blog, or click on this website to leave a note and share a recipe. Thank you again, and we'll see you here again for a new show next week.